Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for stronger global macroeconomic policy coordination. Mr. Xi says the way out of current global challenges is by upholding multilateralism. And the comment has come during his opening address to the World Economic Forum Davos agenda. Olivia Seong joins us live. Olivia, President Xi's speech is being closely watched. What is his key points?
Yes, certainly this is a very closely watched speech by President Xi. This is the first diplomatic event that he's taking part in the new year. And in it, he made a strong case for multilateralism as the way forward for the world amid the challenges that we are seeing with the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent fallout for the global economy as well. At the same time, though, Mr. Xi did make a warning that a beggar thy neighbor approach or going it alone or slipping into arrogant isolation, which he said will always fail. And even though he made no specific mention of any countries, this perhaps can be seen as a message to the United States. Now, this speech is being made at a very significant point in time, just as we see the new U.S. President, Joe Biden, taking office. And, Mr. Biden is not going to be speaking at this particular forum. And the last time that Mr. Xi spoke at this forum was in 2017. And that was a different time. At that point in time, it was just a few days before President Trump had taken office. And since then, in the last 4 years, we have seen, relations between China and the U.S. deteriorate. We have seen a trade war, a technology war, and tensions in many other areas. And this time we see Mr. Xi calling for discarding discriminatory and exclusionary standards and calling for barriers to trade, investment, and technological exchanges to be taken down. There was also a remark that Mr. Xi made warning that, any sort of small circles that are being built or starting a new Cold War, as we had seen increasingly being talked about in the last few years, would only push the world into division. And he also did say that multilateralism should not be used as a pretext for unilateralism. Now, this comes as China continues to wait and monitor to see how the Biden administration will push forward with its China policy, even though many analysts think that Mr. Biden will take a more diplomatic, consultative approach. There is also the sense that, the Biden administration may not go soft on China. Its incoming or Mr. Biden's top pick for Secretary of State has already said that he did agree with the Trump administration's tougher approach towards China, even though he may not have agreed with all the methods that they had been used. And so once again, we see, even though Mr. Xi calling for greater cooperation between different countries during this difficult time and to uphold multilateralism, he's also warning that, China will stand its ground. And he did mention China's new policy of dual circulation with its increasing focus on its domestic market, even though it remains committed to opening up to the rest of the world.
All right, thanks very much. Olivia Seong there speaking to us from Beijing.